Texas GOP are doing the most to get people to go forth and multiply. That is only if you're from a certain group of people, of course. A new Republican bill in Texas proposes massive tax cuts for people who are willing to have oodles of children, but of course with this catch. In order to qualify for the tax benefit, couples need to be heterosexual, never divorced, and their children born or adopted after their date of marriage. LGBTQ couples, single parents, divorced parents, and blended families will not qualify for full benefits. HB 2889 would provide qualifying couples with a 40%. That's right, 40% property tax reduction if they have 4 children, with the tax break increasing for every additional child. Now, couples with 10 or more children would pay no property tax at all. Just getting started, a couple that meets the requirements laid out by the bill get a 10% reduction even before they have children. Isn't that nice?
Seriously, these guys want renters to subsidize huge families of property owners. The last time society was structured this way was somewhere around medieval Europe, where the peasantry were the ones paying all the taxes to the nobility, i.e. the guys with all the property, and paid for their houses and mansions and built them and educated their children and so on and so forth. So yeah, I guess these guys in Texas really want to get back to the good old days. Really good old days.
So how were these taxes actually collected? Well, to everyone's surprise, the people who bore the brunt of taxation were the peasantry. And there were 2 major forms of taxation in the Byzantine Empire. The first was rent, which a peasant paid to their local lord in return for the right to use land. In case you're wondering, the nobility and the clergy were given what were called privileges, which reduced their tax burden. All of this makes it sound like the Byzantine Empire was simply able to tax the peasantry up to the hilt, but they did have protections. The government knew that an unhappy, unproductive peasantry would destabilize the empire, which is why there were limitations on how much they could be taxed in regular peacetime.
But of course, it's only if you are living, quote unquote, morally right in your life, according to Texas Republicans.
Well, that's fair. We can expect a number of Texas property owners to lose their benefit outright.
Come here, little kitty, on my lap.
In his press release outlining the contents of the bill, Slayton suggested that the proposal had been modeled after laws implemented in Hungary and Poland, which provide a virtually tax-free existence to large families.
I have to stop and question for a moment what happens if a family loses a child, because given the way Texas deals with the medical issues, the likelihood of either the mother or some children dying of some terrible disease because they don't have adequate medical care is quite high. But I guess if you can afford the house, you can just fly to Mexico or somewhere else to get your medical care. You gotta say something about American conservatives when they can pry their eyes away from TikTok boys and children. They spend the rest of their time lauding people like Viktor Orban or Putin. And we can see the kind of world they're building towards. Real charming.